3, 2, 1.
What's up, my sexy sluts?
What's up, slut?
I caught you way off guard.
You know what it is. It's JP
And Jay Millie
here at the Bright Night Podcast.
back at it again. Second
Yes.
video.
Second video.
We enjoyed our first video. We got some good responses.
Bro, I'm telling you, I watched it like 5 times.
I watched it well more than 5 times. But I want to start this video by thanking anyone who showed us support, because that really motivated us to keep it going, keep fresh content coming out. We're going to try every week to post a video.
Yep, every Monday.
Which is going to be hard, you know, like we said in our last video, we're working men, we got a lot of things going on the side, so it may not happen every week. If not, we apologize ahead of time, but we're going to try. We're going to make a serious effort to post once a week.
Yes, sir. And that's going to be rough.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be easy, but at the same time, I think we're going to enjoy that struggle, enjoy that battle, and making it happen.
Yeah.
So
It'd
let's
be a
go
good
ahead
experience.
and start this off fresh. I have something I want to know about you that we've never really talked about, but it's something that has been prevalent in both of our lives.
You want to know about me?
Ooh, baby. So, we both grew up in a split family. Both of our parents, at some point in our life, split up and weren't together anymore.
Right.
For me personally, I know that had an extreme effect on my youth. Like, it played a big part. I'll tell you why later, because I want to start with you. And on top of that, I've noticed the reverse. As we've gotten older, I've noticed how our friends being parents, they take the same consideration in whenever they decide, do I want to be with this person or not? Because I have a kid, I can't really leave them, you know. So I want your opinion. Do you feel like parents that don't get along anymore should try to work it out for the kid, or split it up and make themselves happy?
Whoa.
Big question.
That's a huge question.
We've not talked about this. So
We've never talked about
this. This is hitting him out of the blue. But yeah, I was curious because I was thinking about it while I was talking to one of my friends the other night, that it's now in the reverse. Now it's our friends going through the same thing at being a parent, you know,
Right.
which neither of us are, so we don't have that experience yet. But what's your opinion on it? Do you feel like it was a good thing that your parents split up when they stopped getting along? Or do you feel like the opposite and you wish they would have just stuck it out until you graduated and left their house and then they went their separate ways?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, growing up, it was rough at first because my parents split up when I was like 5. So it was kind of hard on me when I was young and
Right.
didn't really understand what was going on, didn't know it. But then, like, as the older I got, I started to realize, you know, where they were coming from, and I'm happy that they did split up because they didn't work anymore.
Right.
They went their separate ways, you know, and now I understand why it happened, and I'm glad it happened the way it did.
Gotcha. Did you blame yourself at the start for them splitting up?
No, not really. Like I said, I was really young. So
Right.
I didn't really understand
Couldn't
what was going
comprehend.
on. Yeah, it was like, we're family, we did everything together, all of us, and then all of a sudden we weren't no more, and I didn't understand why,
Right.
you know, so it was a big change.
Right. And see, for me, and I was real young as well when it happened at first. For me, I was excited. I was like, motherfucker, I get 2 Christmases? What? You kidding me? 2 Christmas? This is a holiday now. They broke up. We need to make this a holiday. But then, like, as it went on and I got older and smarter, because I was a real young kid when they split up, it really hit me hard, because then it got to the point where, like, they asked me specifically, all right, what parent do you want to live with? And it puts a lot of pressure on a young kid, because then in the back of your mind, I mean, I was young, but I was still old enough to know, if I pick one parent, the other parent's going to feel a certain type of way about it.
Right.
And so instead of them figuring it out themselves, they just let me have free reins on it to decide. So that's when it really, really hit me hard. And it's like, wow, this is, like, you know, serious. And yeah, I struggled with it for a long time, where I picked one and then I could tell the other one was upset. So then I was like, no, I want the other one. And then, like, I flip-flopped back and forth until finally I was like, all right, you know, I have to pick one. So and I went with it. But it was also very, very hard with me. I know a lot of people struggle with it as well. Like I said, my friend, he stayed with his girl for an extra 3 years for his kid until he's finally like, this isn't healthy, you know,
Right.
we need to move on.
I mean, I feel like kids pick up on that stuff.
Right.
They see the dysfunction and that things aren't working, and then when they grow up, they think like
That behavior.
that is how it's supposed to be.
Right, that's normal behavior.
And
not
so,
at all.
yeah, it don't work out.
So I agree completely that it's not healthy. You should just, if you're not getting along with your spouse, don't force it for the kid. The kid will understand. And at the end of the day, I think that it worked out for the best for both of us.
Yeah,
for sure.
it really did. It kind of molded us.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you ever play the trick where, like, you went and asked mom for something and mom said no, so you asked dad?
all the time. But my problem was they communicated still. They weren't together, but they still stayed in communication. So it didn't really work out for me the way I planned, but I'm sure you schemed all
man.
the time.
And then another thing, if I was grounded at mom's house, that didn't mean I was grounded at dad's house. If I was grounded here, I won't go to dad's. But dude, I was doing that stuff when I was real young, man.
Right.
There was one time, I can remember this, and like my dad will still tell you that story. My grandma lived right next door. We lived in like an apartment when I was real young. She lived right next door. I was like 4 or 5 years old. I got in trouble for fighting with my sister or something like that. And my dad said, "You're grounded. You're not allowed to watch this TV." Me, being the little 4-year-old brain I had, I was like, Dad said I couldn't watch this TV. He didn't say nothing about Grandma's TV. So I went over to Grandma's house. I was like, "Hey Grandma, can I watch TV with you?" She's like, "Yeah, come on in." We popped in a movie and we was watching it. The dad came home from work.
Uh-oh,
And
he's grounded.
Walked in.
What is this?
And my heart sank. It was like,
well, she told
Grandma, put it on! I told her I was grounded!
That's fucking great. That sounds like you as a little kid. He was a schemer. Like, he's had the brains his whole life where if he wants something, it's happening. No matter how it's happening, he's making it happen.
I literally, there's so many stories when I was young, like little things I used to do. Dad was telling me one, I guess I was like 2, 3 years old, and I wanted a toy out of the kitchen, but the light was off, and I asked Dad to turn on the light, and he's like, no, you're fine, go in there. I said, no, we turn on the light, and he's like, just go in there. Jesus is in there. You know, God is in there. He'll protect you, you know.
Ain't nobody gonna
and
get you while God's in there.
I looked at him, I said, well, then Jesus turned on the light. It's like, if he's in there, he flipped that light switch on. I ain't going.
Which brings me to a funny point, because when you were young, I remember you would make little contraptions to make your life easier. While you was young, like you were very young, making like stuff for the bathtub, and like I think you had something for your light, cause you or something.
I had more than that, literally, and it's weird to think about, cause I think about my age.
No one, I couldn't do it at the age I'm at now. Think of the shit he made. I'm not exaggerating. You literally made some ingenious shit when you were a little fucking kid. Well, you still do. You still make some great inventions, but when you were a kid, you started it.
Yeah.
Explain your bathroom one, because that one...
Well, I'm going to go back to one real quick. Like, I think about how old I was at the time, and I was 10 years old.
Crazy.
Well, I had nieces and nephews, you know, that were 10 a couple years ago, and I was trying to picture them doing the crap I did when I was 10, and I'm like, dude, there ain't no way. I had my whole room rigged up with nothing but strings. I did not have to get out of bed. I could pull a string and turn on the light switch. I could pull another string, turn it off. I could pull a string, let it go, and it'd smack the TV and turn the TV on. I could change the channels from the bed, open drawers from my bed, and then my mom came in. I was like, Mom, check this out. Look, I can pull all these strings. I ain't got to get out of bed. You know what she did?
What?
Whipped out that pocket knife and cut everything down.
What?
I was like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, that's just laziness. I said, no, that's ingenious.
Being smart. You don't work hard, you work smart.
That's what I told her. I said, work smarter, not harder.
In her defense, You were quite a lazy kid.
I was a lazy kid. Walking around big chubby.
Not no more, baby. What you talking about? In the gym every day, making them gains.
Trying.
So my situation, though, it turned out really great because my parents are together now.
Yeah,
which is a very,
back.
very unique situation for me. But they split up for about 6 years and ended up getting back together, which was great because, like I said, it really took a toll on me to have to decide, okay, who am I living with this year? You know what I mean? And if they would have decided for me, I feel like that would have been the best route. But how do you say that being 10 years old, 11 years old?
But even at that, man, if they would have decided for you, maybe when you grew up, you had a little bit of resentment
for not getting to decide.
Not getting to decide. So literally everything, every choice, there's pros and cons to it.
But at that age, I mean, I really didn't have the mental capacity to choose. Like, my decisions were based on, oh, I want to meet new friends and I want a second Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the age where they should know that I'm not physically capable of handling that type of decision. Right. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a big one for me, is that the parents should take hold and decide. If they're not working out anymore, great. You know, you moved on, you're not stuck in a toxic relationship, that's fine. Do what's best for your relationship, but don't put it on the kid to decide what he wants at such a young age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that stuck with me. But
well, it's literally like everybody that has, well, not everybody, but the way it's supposed to be is you want better for your kids than what you had.
Right.
So when you have kids, you have that moral obligation to take care of them and give them better than what you had. They didn't
do it maliciously. They weren't sitting there thinking, like you said, they were thinking, well, we want him to have what he wants. We're going to let him decide. You know, but looking at it in hindsight, it's like, was that the best decision for a 10-year-old? Because it really did. It pulled at me thinking, oh, now my mom doesn't think I love her. Oh, now my dad doesn't think I love him, you know, because I decided I want to live here. And I switched my mind, oh, I want to live here. It's like, oh, you don't want to live with me? It's like, yeah, I do, but I can only pick one.
Well, I mean, like, and even at that, I had, you know, my parents were separated, but both my parents lived in the same town.
Right, which was different for me.
That was a big thing. Like, my dad, he wanted us kids to grow up and go to the same school.
Right.
So that, because when he was a kid, he moved from school to school to school. By the time he graduated, he went to like 17 different schools or whatever. And yeah, like that's rough on a kid. So he wanted me to grow up so I could actually have lifelong friends like you and like Chase and you know.
And speaking on that, you would think, at least I did as a kid, like, going to a new school, awesome, I'm going to meet all these cool new people, I'm going to make a bunch of new friends. It's so hard to make friends when everybody already has cliques and, like, they already know who they're familiar with. And, like, I had trouble making friends when I moved away. And now that I moved back, it's like, all my original friends that I had, it's like they never went anywhere, but all the friends that I gained when I moved away, it's like I talked to 2 of them now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was a big shock to me, is like how hard it was. You know, I felt like it would have been easy. I was excited about making new friends. No, moving away is rough.
Well, even when you came back, like, you came back to high school, and when you came back to high school, I mean, before you left, we were like best friends together every single day.
Literally.
You know, playing. You came back, and we literally, like, talked when we were around each other.
Right.
We didn't hang out in school.
Right.
We didn't...
You were anyways were already back in your norm, and me, I was trying to come back in and slide back in like as if nothing ever happened. But at the end of the day, you know, I had been gone for 5 years. You know what I mean? So shit did happen. People move on and get new friends and have different cliques. And on top of that, we didn't play the same sports. In school, that's a big determination on what you spend your time doing, is like what activities after school you partake in. Right. And we never did any of the same sports. So we didn't really connect and like become best friends again until we graduated.
Yeah, it's after we graduated, I ran into you at the vitamin shop. I was like, hey man, what's up, man? And then you and Joe were hanging out, and then after that you guys said you were working out. I was like, well, you should come check out my gym.
Right.
And then Joe never like came at first. And then you started coming, and then we built a trip together, planned that, and then just start working out every single day because we had a goal.
Florida, baby.
What's up?
Yeah. Bright and sunny. We
killed it.
We had a good time there. We had a good trip there.
That was a good trip.
And that's the thing too, on a random ass side note, if you have a goal of working out, set that goal to lead to something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was huge for us.
Yeah, having that where we wanted that nice cut up body to go to the beach really kept us in the gym and changed our life, because now we've kept that
we made it a habit,
right,
and
a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle now.
And then stuck to it because of that trip.
Because we set that goal of looking good for that trip, which we set it months in advance, to where we had a long time to prepare.
We had like 8 months
to sit there and work out, and we had a goal in mind, and that helps. Setting goals is really, really important if you have anything that you want to achieve. You know, you're not just going to get there.
Literally.
You got to set your goals and take baby steps to get there.
That's what we did for this podcast.
Literally.
We set goals.
We wrote down specific goals with specific dates and specifics of what we wanted to hit with the goals.
Yeah.
You know, follower counts, you know, what we want to do with ads, what we want to do with if we make our own clothing line, different things that will be in the future, but if you don't plan for it to take those baby steps, it won't be in your future because you're just shooting in the dark. You know, if you set up a little target to hit, you know what you're aiming at.
Right.
If you're shooting at a 5-year goal, you're just literally shooting in the dark.
Right.
So it's an important step. You got to set the goals to get what you want.
Well, especially like out of life.
Anything.
You've got to have goals out of life, like what you want to do. Because literally, like right now, thinking at the age that I'm at, you know, we're in our 20s.
Still
like,
young.
They say this is our prime time.
Yeah.
But literally, I'm more confused now than I've ever been. Like, in high school, dude, I thought I had it all figured out.
Right.
Like, I was like, dude, I'm on top of my game. I'm crushing it. Life ain't got nothing on me. And then I got out in the real world, dude. It punched me right in the mouth.
Yep.
And it caught me, like, blindside.
There's a saying that the more you know, the more you realize the less you know.
Yeah.
You literally, the more
Literally.
you start to know, the more you finally realize, oh, I don't know shit.
Yeah, you're like, like the more you know, you figure out that you're actually ignorant.
Right. And so it's a step though, you know. You don't get to that point without first being ignorant. So it's a step in the right direction. You were ignorant and you took a step in the right direction. You're like, man, I don't know it all. I got a lot to learn from a lot of different people.
And you're never going to stop learning. You're going to learn the rest of your life.
Right.
Like,
It's all about improving, you know. You don't start out what you want to be.
Never.
You gotta get there. You gotta work towards it.
Yep.
To make you gotta make your life what you want it to be. Because you can make your life anything. You really can.
Right.
You can do anything in this world. You just have to set your mind to it. You gotta have that goal in mind and go out and accomplish it.
The way I like to explain life is like a roller coaster, bro.
Right.
So you got high moments, you got low moments
Right.
in these roller coasters. Now, in that, you did not design the ride.
Right. Some
There's
people's
things-
roller coasters might be a lot lower than other people's.
There's things you can't control about that, but you can pick what ride you get on. But it's almost like you're picking what ride you get on
I like
blind.
that. I like that.
And literally, you get on this ride and you take it, you know, like you can't control how many flips are in the ride.
Right.
You know, you just pick it and you get it, and when you get off and you puke your guts up,
You get to decide right then. Do I want to get back on this ride or
no,
not?
no, that's when you go to Kittyland, dude. You're like, screw this. You take the safe route.
I love
Done.
it. I love it. But if you're on a good path, if you're not puking, you stay on that ride and
You go for the bigger ride.
There you go. There you go. Go bigger and better, baby.
That's right. Now I'm only talking about rides because I'm going to Kings Island tomorrow.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Going to Kings Island, baby.
I'm not. What's up with this, JP?
Sucks to suck.
That's alright. I got shit to get done anyways.
Yep.
You know, I got a lot of video games to play and I ain't got shit to do. I ain't getting none of it, buddy.
Man, I got laundry, I got video games, I got dishes, I got video games.
It's the weekend, baby. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Video games.
Hey, man. That's all I know.
Hey, you love video games, man. You
I
do
mean,
you.
I could
Be a
go out,
gamer.
but who wants to do that? No one wants to go out.
I mean, you could buy a ticket because we got room for you to go to Kings
Uh-oh.
Island.
On that note, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. We got some things to get done later on, and we're gonna try to shorten these videos up a little bit. Our first video,
Let's
23
go.
minutes. Our camera shut off, so we're gonna try every video from now on 10-15 minutes.
Yep.
That's a good
That's good.
range. So it may be a little bit more, maybe a little less, but from now on, expect 10-15 minute videos
Yep.
once a week.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, send us a like, drop a comment. We read those things,
Right.
and we will respond to them.
Right, and we appreciate it. We
They
appreciate
mean a lot to us.
It really do. It motivates us more than you know.
Yep.
So until next time.
Boom!